Hi! I decided to record this video just to share my first impressions of this game. First of all, I like it. I've been playing this game for a couple hours the past week, and as you see, I chose the Empire. I tried both. I've done the starting few quests for both factions in this game, but it seemed like the Empire had the nicest quests, the nicest starting area, and the class just seemed really nice as well, the Inquisitors, so I just went with it. You really get the hang quickly of this game. It seems to be quite intuitive, easier to get the hang of and to find your way in this game than Guild Wars 2, World of Warcraft, or Elder Scrolls Online. So yeah, it's quite quite nice. The graphics, they look very good, as you can see, very colorful compared to other games, and yet quite immersive, because sometimes you tend to see that when games try to be very colorful MMORPGs, they seem to lose a bit of immersion, and I'll explain that with an example. For instance, Guild Wars 2 or World of Warcraft, they implement a lot of colors in their games, yet sometimes you feel like that, along with other elements, makes the game lose immersion. Whereas you go to Elder Scrolls Online, I feel like that game has a lot of immersion, but not many colors. Yeah, this game seems to find a way to combine those two anyway, and that's what I really like. What does it all do on your system resources? Well, you could say you can really respect the chronology here. It's heavier on the system resources than LotRO, but LotRO is a 2007 game originally. It's lighter than Elder Scrolls Online, but Elder Scrolls Online is a 2014 game. So let's compare it to something that's from the same era, let's call it, and that's Guild Wars 2. Guild Wars 2 is about 1 year younger, I believe, than Star Wars: The Old Republic. And Star Wars really seems to be heavier on the resources than Guild Wars 2. The loading screens seem to take longer. What I don't really like about Star Wars: The Old Republic is every time you tab out to a different window, maybe to your browser, and you tab back, you get a loading screen that leads to somehow load the game again. You don't have that with Guild Wars 2. You don't have that with LotRO or ESO, but you do have that with Star Wars: The Old Republic. A bit of a pity. It's a bit of a inconvenience sometimes if you want to just go on with stuff. But all around, I'd say it's a decent performance. You can get nice graphics for your uh, resources. You really do. Now, this game, as you just saw, it has a lot of voice acting. Like every quest seems to have a dialogue. There's interaction, like you will get different responses for different reactions that you give. I like that. What you also get is with the Empire, the NPCs, they are quite condescending and rude towards you, and what I like is you can just be rude back. I love that uh, dynamic that you can have with let's say the bad guys in this game. Now, what's another strong point of this game is there seems to be a lot of vehicles, like crazy amounts. I've looked it up, all the kinds of vehicles and mounts you can have in this game. It's very impressive. Also, quite a few pets you can have. Not as much, it seems, as Guild Wars 2, but still quite a lot of pets, like mini R2-D2s and little animals. That's very Star Wars-ish. Now, you might notice that I'm not very well acquainted with all of this whole Star Wars lore and stories, haven't seen all the movies. I don't really care about Star Wars lore, but I don't mind it either. I'm still interested enough to play the game though. On the other hand, there's a lot of running around in this game. It seems like for a single quest you have to go all over the map. But you have a run speed boost, and the good part is that it seems like you level up quite quickly in this game. I've only done the starting few levels. That goes fast in any game really, but in this game it goes particularly fast. I don't know how it goes on the higher levels though, so I'll have to see about it. So let's talk about the price of this game. This is a subscription-based game, so naturally it will be more expensive than Elder Scrolls Online if you at least don't subscribe, or Guild Wars 2. See, Guild Wars 2 is always the cheapest option you have for MMORPG playing. If you want to have a real bang for your buck, go for Guild Wars 2, always. But yeah, you have a monthly fee of about 15 euros. That's a bit on the expensive hand. That's comparable to World of Warcraft subscription, a tiny bit more expensive than Lord of the Rings Online subscription. On the other hand, the store, if you want to buy credits, you can have like 5,500 for 35 euros, I believe. That is quite significantly cheaper than, for instance, the LotRO store, which really tries to milk you dry. Guild Wars 2 store is kind of comparable. Guild Wars 2, yeah. So you know, I'm comparing what you can buy for your credits, and it seems like it's very reasonable in this game. Now this game seems to have a classic trinity of DPS, tank, and healer. I love that mechanic. That's really, you know, you don't have that in Guild Wars 2. I don't really like it. Like, Guild Wars 2 seems to be just innovative for the sake of being innovative, but it doesn't always make sense to me. But this game respects that classic trinity of having a tank, healer on the tank, and then DPS to damage, do a lot of damage. This class, the Inquisitor, seems to be all about DPS, definitely if you go for Sorcerer, which I intend to do, and then you have a support role as a healer, I believe, as well. Now let's talk about kind of a downside that I've noticed is that the looting system doesn't really seem to encourage teamwork, at least when just you know, questing or fighting around in the open world. Like, I see other players around me fighting NPCs, and naturally my reflex that I have in other games is to just join them. And but I didn't get to loot the bodies that were slain, only the other player did, and I didn't really like that. It seems like the game encourages you to just fight on your own without working together with other players. Now, I'm not sure if I am doing something wrong. Maybe the game does allow you to also loot whatever you kill along with other players, but it seems like it doesn't, now at least. In terms of community, it seems quite similar to other games. In chat, there's a lot of banter, but also a lot of helpful people, so that's exactly the same as you get in other games. I haven't been in this game for long enough to really give a decisive verdict on how nice and welcoming this community is, but it seems, you know, it seems like a very, very regular community. I don't have any idea about PvP because I'm still very low level. I don't have any idea about instances / raid / dungeon / skirmish. I don't know what they're called in this game. But I plan to do a lot of it because that's what I like. That's why I chose a PvE server. And I like to do it along with a guild that organizes runs like that. But I'm not really in a guild yet. I don't know what the possibilities are of guilds in this game yet. Probably more than in the Lord of the Rings Online. I don't know if it's as extensive as Guild Wars 2 guilds, but I'm yet to find out. I hope it's going to be very useful to raiders, because that's what I'd like to try out. I'm very you know, interested to see what the instances will be like in this game. So that concludes my my first impressions of this game. So far, I would definitely recommend to play it. Start out as free to play if you like the feeling of the game, the mechanics, and if you you know, if you just want to learn how to play this, because MMORPGs have quite a steep learning curve, then start out free to play. If you like it, subscribe to the game, and yeah, just you know, have a fun time. But think before you subscribe, because it's not going to be cheap. So yeah, that's my first impression. Good luck and have fun.